set to start the fourth quarter in Austin at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. The Longhorns lead by a single point, a missed extra point by A&M on their touchdown in the first quarter, or we'd be even. And now the Aggies' Justin Brantley is set to punt. Aaron Ross had a nice return last time, negated by a penalty. Oh boy, Brantley got all of this one. Wow, what a kick. All the way back to the 13. Ross coming the other way, puts a hand down, and he'll be put down at about the 17-yard line. So the Aggies had the first touchdown, the only touchdown in the first half, and now Texas moments ago has answered after they had a short field from the 37-yard line just 3 plays before Jamal Charles took it in the end zone. They made their extra points, and that's where we are right now at 7-6. So the Longhorns taking over the ball. You can kind of feel the momentum, guys, switching a little bit here. Crowd's gotten into it. I think because of the early start, as much as Mac Brown says our players love these early starts, said they get up about 7:30 by the time they have breakfast and everything. We're done by 2:30 in the afternoon. They love it, but I think they were still asleep when the game started maybe today.
He said the players, the coaches, 100% love the early start.
He said the players love it 100%. The coaches love it 150%. And we said, and the broadcasters love it 175% if there is such a thing, because it's great morning football. You can't beat it.
Well, you know, when we did these guys against Oklahoma, it's almost the same game. They were losing 10-7 at the halftime, Texas was, and then they came right back in the second half and just controlled the game. They're doing it again.
Colt McCoy did it in that game. They're trying to let their run game do it now, and Selvin Young goes out for a pickup before and gets another all-important first down. At this point, just first downs is all they're worried about. And the coaches told us, in fact, the defining moment for Colt McCoy and maybe their season was the win over Oklahoma, 28-10, and how they came out in that second half. Colt McCoy took things over as we saw the maturing young quarterback that day.
Yeah, he didn't play so well against Ohio State in the second game of the season. Played very well against Oklahoma.
I think we're going to have another offside on the defensive line of the Aggies. At least it appeared that way. Henry Smith got about a 310 pounds moving in the wrong direction, unless he was drawn offside. There's Big Hank.
Well, you get that thing moving, it ain't going to slow down.
Offsides on the defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, could have been on Smith, could have been on Thornton. They were both in there at defensive tackles.
The Aggies should be used to this, though, Brad, because, you know, talking with Coach Fran the other day, he says 8 of our last 9 games have come down to the end, the last couple of minutes in the last minute.
Well, they've lost back-to-back games by 1 point to Oklahoma and Nebraska. The most recent coming 2 weeks ago to the Cornhuskers, 28-27. They've also won some very close games in the waning seconds, so it's been kind of one of those kind of seasons. Mac Brown trying to win a 10th game again. 34 years in coaching. Last year's Coach of the Year. 4 kids, both dad and his granddaddy were coaches out of Tennessee, Cookeville, Tennessee, and then Florida State. Successful at North Carolina as a head coach, and even more successful now with a national championship a year ago here in Austin.
You ever see anybody more laid back than he is?
He takes it pretty easily, doesn't he? Charles, great run. Third effort, I think, on that one. Got him all the way to the 45-yard line. As tough a 7-yard run as you'll see.
Well, I'll tell you, Texas came out in this second half, and they decided we're going to do what you did to us in the first half. You ran it down our throats. Now it's our turn, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking this right to the defense.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to the head coach. We were just talking about Mac Brown at halftime, saying the right things, getting his guys motivated.
Colt McCoy in the shotgun. Plenty of time. Deep middle and tipped, broken up, intended for Jermichael Finley, the tight end. Mac Brown loves these kind of games, and actually all good coaches do when it's a main rival.
Well, my unsung hero.
They are, because they get more attention. And players come to Texas because they want to play in games like A&M and Oklahoma and the Rose Bowl and play for national championships and conference championships.
If they win today, it'll be a 6th straight year of at least 10 wins. That's pretty impressive. Second down at the 45. A little quick opening draw to Selvin Young, and Young got to midfield, where it's going to be 3rd down and 5. And it was Mark Dodge, Paulie's unsung hero, that made the tackle.
Well, he made a tackle there. He almost had the intercept in the play before, but here's the guy, the unsung hero. You look at a guy that, he comes off the bench and plays, and just, you can hear the hitting. This guy will knock you out. Watch this. Yeah, okay. You stand him up and I'll lay him out.
He's hitting people so hard that the decal's coming off the right side of his helmet. That's when you know you're tagging people, when you're losing your A or your M or your and. I don't know. McCoy wants to flare it out. Tough pass. Incomplete. Aggies are going to pick it up just in case they were thinking lateral, but Selvin Young, the intended receiver. So now it's 4th down from the midfield stripe. And I guess the punting is going to come on, although I'm sure there's always a little bit of discussion. With the 1-point lead, it might have been a different story if it was still 6-0. Mac might say, hey, let's go get this thing.
Well, the other thing, too, is you got Texas A&M with we've watched the kickoffs, and you mentioned that, Brad, that they have the wind at their back in this 4th quarter, and they're only down by 1.
Chad Schrader was counting his buddies in front of him to make sure there were 10. And Greg Johnson would love to pin him back deep near his own goal line.
Good kick into the wind.
Yes, it is. And he makes a fair catch at about the 12-yard line. So good punt. Stephen McGee now. The ball will be in his hands. His team's down a point. They need him to come through here with 11:28 to go. We've got 11:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. Texas A&M trailing Texas 7-6, and the Aggies have got the ball back at their own 12-yard line. Mike Goodson in there as the tailback behind Chris Alexander in the I backfield. And on the option, the pitch from McGee to Goodson. Goodson, nice sidestep move, and he's got a 1st down. He's not only fast, he's got some nice moves. He picks up 11 yards and a 1st down. He's closing in on the century mark on the ground, 87 right now.
Yeah, and he's the guy that's got the big playability that the Aggies need right now. I don't think it's going to be with Jaworski Lane, the big power guy. This guy's got the speed to take it, get some big yardage.
Which he did in the 1st half for the Aggies' only touchdown. They've only thrown once on 1st down today. It looks like they will here, unless it's a quarterback keeper. Or unless Lane gets a handoff. And it's McGee on the option. And McGee diving out across the 30. He's close to another 1st down. Very close. Time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights. John, Craig, and Mark all in New York waiting on that. And, of course, Nebraska and Colorado follows us. We've got 10:36 remaining in the 4th quarter. Mac Brown's Longhorns trying to go to 10-2. Dennis Franchione's team trying to win their 9th game.
Well, Texas A&M, Brad, started on their inside their own 20. They had 9 possessions. 6 of them were inside their 20 or worse.
Goodson trying to spin into the hole, and he spins right into the tackle. And I think he's still short of the 1st down. They only need about a foot for a 1st down here. Scott Derry, the outside linebacker, made the stop. They put the ball down right about on our yellow stripe. The officials may want to bring the chain gang out here to look at this, and they will. We'll have our first measurement of the day. I mentioned they built Texas Memorial Stadium in the late 20s. It took all the way to 1956. I asked you guys this question. I gave you 2 quarters now to think about it. Who the first coach was to be able to bring an Aggie team in here in Austin and win. I know you know it.
Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant.
Bear
You both
Bryant,
know it.
Yeah, we
1956.
looked it up in the encyclopedia. We got one in the back of the.
I went in the trunk of my car. I opened it up and I was fixing it flat, and there it was.
So it took a long time for an Aggie team to come into this stadium and win. And they're trying to pull an upset that would definitely upset the Longhorn fans because, you know, Bob Stoops in Oklahoma is watching this game. If Texas loses and Oklahoma wins in Bedlam against Oklahoma State tomorrow, the Sooners would go to the Big 12 championship as the South representative. Texas A&M, we talked about their 3rd down conversions. This is the shortest one they'll try on the day, and they got, well, Jaworski Lane probably weighs about 279 now because we're in the 4th quarter. And here he comes. And he got it. Didn't get it by much, but he got it nonetheless. Pacific Life game summary. Mike Goodson capped the 91-yard A&M drive in the first quarter with his 41-yard touchdown run. And the extra point, remember, was wide right. And you got to keep that in mind now because it's a difference in the ball game. Jamal Charles, after Frank Okam's fumble recovery, capped a 37-yard drive in just 3 plays with that touchdown. But the extra point was good. So you see with 10 minutes and now less remaining, Texas up 7-6. It's a nail biter.
There's one of the guys that didn't get any Thanksgiving dinner. He's going to eat his fingers.
He's also the guy that missed the extra point. McGee straight run this time, and he ran head first into Frank Okam and Rashad Bobineau. Boy, Bobineau's had a good game, hasn't he?
I mean, the guy has probably made 65 to 70% of their tackles. Here's Bobineau. When you just look at him, watch this guy read and then react. I mean, he just doesn't hesitate. Bob did a replay on him about 4 or 5 plays ago, and he was just showing about how he reacts, how quick he does. And once he makes up his mind, he's gone.
Rashad's got 10 tackles on the day. 2nd down and 10 for the Aggies. In the spread, McGee, the quick throw, completes. And it's Martellus Bennett. I think that's his first catch of the day, and he's their top receiver. And he's shaken up after the hit on the sideline.
Yeah, he's down.
He took a pretty good shot after he made that catch, and then second effort tried to get extra yardage. And that might be his only catch of the day. He might not get off that sideline again. They're still working on his shoulder, it appears. Big 3rd down for both teams right here. McGee steps up and throws complete. Scott Taylor, and it's a 1st down. Irvin Taylor to the 49-yard line. On 3rd and 6, another big 3rd down conversion. They get 12.
That was a heads-up play by McGee because McGee he couldn't run with the football and pick up the 1st down. But what he did is he saw the wide open man and made the throw.
Yeah, converting 3rd downs have a lot to do with the quarterback. Buys a little time and then just flutters it out to the guy. Just buying some time. But quarterbacks just buying time converts 3rd downs.
McGee has hit his last 5 passes. Now it's Goodson. Nope, he's going to keep it. Cuts across midfield, got 2 or 3, and got into Texas territory. As we check in, John Saunders in New York. John?
Brad, with our vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the day, it actually happened last night. Kirby Freeman completing a 30-yard pass to Greg Olson that set up the game-winning touchdown for Miami. Larry Coker gets fired despite the fact they finished 6-6. To vote for your Pontiac game-changing performance, log on to ESPN.com, keyword Pontiac. Brad, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. At the 48-yard line, this is only the 3rd play that A&M has run in Texas territory today. Of course, when you get 41-yard touchdown runs, you don't need too many plays. He doesn't pitch it this time, and McGee stood up at the 42 and dropped just a little bit short, I think, of the 1st down, although they go out to market and they give him pretty good forward progress.
I'm sending Greasy up to College Station to teach this guy how to slide. Because this kid takes a pounding. McGee, I mean, he just gets hammered.
Hey, Coach Francione told us the other day he knew he had a tough quarterback when against Oklahoma last year he was knocked out of bounds right into the wall of the stadium, and he got up and said something to the defender that I can't repeat. But he basically said, "Is that all you got?" And the whole team sort of rallied
around. Is that all you got, dude?
Yeah, it wasn't dude, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
3rd down, less than 1. Option keepers got it, and a 1st down for McGee. And is he shaken up? We'll wait and see. Now he's getting up. Don't forget, coming up, don't miss the second half of our college football doubleheader. Big 12 North champion Nebraska Cornhuskers going against Colorado. That's next on ABC. And who's going to play them? Texas, Oklahoma. We still got 6 minutes and change, and the Aggies are driving. And they could drive Austin right out of Kansas City, if that makes any sense. They could drive the Longhorns right out of Kansas City, I should say, if they win this game. 6 minutes left now. 7-6 Texas. Here's the pitch to the big fella. Lane's got it down to the 35, picked up about 3. And the clock now, you start to watch the clock and the scoreboard.
Brad, I would say this could be the greatest drive of this entire year for Texas A&M. I mean, they're taking this ball from, the 12-yard line and just they're destroying the clock, and they're getting themselves into field goal position to win the football game. It's unbelievable.
And they came up with that third down conversion on McGee's throw. That might be the play of the ball game.
And there's no hurry.
Nope.
The wind is at their back, so their field goal kicker, I'm sure that's putting him at peace over there on the sideline as he waits.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
11th play of the drive right here, and it's number 11 again. The run takes him to the 29-yard line. Jaworski Lane. There you see the breeze that's blowing from our right to left. And with 5 minutes left, the Aggies have got it at the Longhorn 29-yard line. Texas is going to have to come up with a play here on a third down one of these times. It's 3rd and 1 again.
A&M scored on their first drive of the game, and they haven't scored since. They've had the ball 7 times and haven't scored.
3rd and 1. Alexander comes up, gets the call, gives it to Goodson, the tailback. Option. McGee, first down, a bunch more. McGee's all the way down to the 15-yard line. 13 yards for the quarterback.
Brad, they got this ball with 11 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. They've already run over just a little bit of 7 minutes off the clock, and they have a first down and they're in field goal position. What they don't want to do is to score too early.
We talked about their proficiency in third down conversions. They're 4 for 4 just on this drive. Sometimes you can go a whole game, never get 4 third down
you
conversions.
You got that right.
They're at the Longhorn 15. Lane headbutting Longhorns down inside the 10. Whoa.
Well, you can't wrap your arms around him. I mean, I'm not, making fun of the guy, but he's 280 plus pounds. Now watch when you try to tackle him. You try to get your arms around him. You can forget that. Nobody can get their arms around him. So hold him up, and you have some other guys go in there that slide down to his legs and tackle him.
2 guys bounced off, and 2 more came and got him down.
There was a game earlier this year where some of the defenders against A&M, the coaches were yelling, wrap him up, wrap him up. They said, Coach, we can't get our arms around him. There's no wrapping to be done. 2nd down and 3. Here he comes again, ran into his own man, and now he's gang tackled by the Horns. And it's going to bring up another huge third down. Don't miss all new episode of Daybreak. Critics give it 4 stars, calling it enormously entertaining and compelling. Tay Diggs stars in Daybreak Wednesday, 9, 8 Central, only on ABC.
And if you're Texas now, you might start thinking about maybe wanting to conserve some time and using your own timeouts.
Yep. It's going to be interesting because if there's a bigger third down in this game, we haven't seen it.
Both teams have 3 times out remaining.
Goodson is the tailback. It's been McGee keeping the ball for the most part on these third downs. That's been critical. He's going to do it again, and he's got a first down and a touchdown. Texas A&M. Stephen McGee out of Burnett, Texas, and he might have just burnt the Longhorns.
He's going to take it down this way and just take it in himself. Good blocking on the left side there. 71 is Babalola. Thomas, number 81, got a good block.
Bobby, they took off 8 minutes and 56 seconds off the clock.
And they get a touchdown run by their quarterback to take the lead. We'll see about the extra point when we come back.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. Wrap up the wow this holiday season, only at Best Buy. Pontiac. Go online to vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance. Outback Steakhouse. Let go of the day. Go Outback tonight. And Remington Titanium Shavers.
Texas A&M will go for the 2-point conversion following the 8-yard touchdown run by Stephen McGee, capping a monstrous drive, 16 plays, 88 yards. And as Paul said, 9 minutes chewed off that clock. And now they go for 2 here to try to make it a 14-7 game.
How about that little old option play? That thing seems to work pretty good, doesn't it?
It'll drive defensive coordinators nuts.
McGee's got his troops huddled around him. He was the main catalyst on that drive. 5 for 5 third down conversions. That's remarkable.
14 rushing plays, only 2 passes on that drive.
I'm not sure I wouldn't run him again on the option and give him the option on the 2-point conversion.
He's got single coverage outside if he wants to throw it.
Goodson on the pitch, and Texas is all over it. So the Longhorns saved themselves there, but they're still 5 down with 2:32 to go.
Stop by number 27, Michael Griffin.
So now the Texas offense will get its hands on the ball upcoming. And they're going to have 2.5 minutes to work with, roughly.
Tried to go this way.
Michael Griffin does a nice job. He and Aaron Ross get out there to make the play.
What I don't understand is the fullback was going out like he was going out for a pass. I mean, he just passed up the guy coming across the line of scrimmage.
Dennis Francione trying to snap the losing skid to the Longhorns. They would be 5-3 in the conference, 9-3 overall. This would be a huge win for the Aggies. And they've seen so many games this year, including their past 2 losses, come down to the final seconds. Quan Cosby and Jordan Shipley. And there you see fourth quarters that have gone awry on them. And again, the kick deep, going in that direction. So Texas is 80 yards away. Colt McCoy, the redshirt freshman at the controls, and he's been in a 2-minute drill before. This is what he'll tell his troops in the huddle.
The situation in the huddle is going to be, hey, we've been here before. We can do this. We've got to keep your head up and be smart, play smart, and beat your guy every time you line up against him.
Let's see if they can do it. Clock running, 2:25. There's Colt's numbers, 2 interceptions after only 4 all season. As time throws short, completes out to the 25 to Billy Pittman, and a pickup of about 5. Before second down, let's check in with John in New York.
Well, Darren McFadden making his run for the Heisman Trophy. He's been passing like crazy the last few weeks. This one to Robert Johnson set up his own touchdown as Arkansas leads.
Second down throws incomplete for Colt McCoy, so it's coming up to a 3rd and 5.
What a quarterback wants to do, he's got about 2 minutes to go. Just make some first down, get some plays. Even if you have to take the shorter stuff, maybe you'll hit one of your guys with some speed and he can break a tackle. It's not to the point where you have to throw the ball deep, real deep down the field yet.
Well, it's 2-down territory, too. There's only 1:47 left. 3rd down and 5. McCoy fires, complete, out across the 35. Quan Cosby again. And look at the Aggies all around him. Cosby had 6 catches in the first half to match his jersey number, but number 7 right there is the biggest one of the day so far. Mack Brown looks up at the clock and the scoreboard. He knows about the scoreboard. The clock he'll keep his eye on. First down, Texas. McCoy throws to his safety valve over here on the near sideline, Selvin Young. And Young steps out of bounds right about at the line of scrimmage, I think. I don't think he got much out of it.
Texas has all 3 of their timeouts left. What they're concerned about is making yardage. Now you don't want to get down there and have times out left on the clock. So use them.
You know, and that play right there just showed you the heads-up play by McCoy. Even though it didn't gain any yardage, he got the ball back to the line of scrimmage and out of bounds to stop the clock and save that timeout.
Second down, actually lost a yard on that pass completion. 2nd and 11. McCoy